Energy.
Energy. Did you just say Rochelle Obama? Michelle. Okay, because I thought you said Rochelle Obama.
I know I have a thick accent. What's your name? Sarah.
At least people aren't calling me Mustang. Because everyone says to me, do people call you Mustang? And I'm like, not twice.
I use my fake name.
What's your fake name?
Sally.
Hey Sarah.
Hi Sally.
We're wearing the lapel mics, but I've lost my little hat for mine.
Great story.
Thank you.
How
are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I have to tell you a story.
Do you though?
The other night I was waiting for Kate to come around. I was helping her move some furniture because I'm a lesbian and I help straight women move furniture. And I was waiting for her on the driveway.
And also clean leather products, right?
I love, yep.
Yeah, I just love getting in there.
Shut
Getting
up.
it all moist.
Wait, so I was on the driveway waiting for her to come and she's a black car.
Yeah.
And so I was looking on Twitter and stuff and I was just, doing in my own head. Anyway, this black car pulls up on the driveway of the apartment block where I live. Without even thinking, I go over to the car and I'm like pulling on the door, which is locked. And in my head I'm thinking, why the fuck is it locked? And then the window rolls down and the poor woman in the car is like, I'm assuming you think that I'm somebody else. And I was like, holy fuck. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Did you say no? I realised you were a stranger, but this is the only way I can pick up these days.
Wrong on a couple of accounts there. But oh God, it was awful. And I was like, was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like your worst nightmare. Some stranger trying to get into your car.
And assault you.
I had no plans to assault, but You
don't know what was going through her mind.
Yeah, well, she probably thought that because I'm like, I'm really trying to get in. I'm like, why has she locked the door? She's here to pick me up. Like, why would the door be locked?
Good Lord.
I know. So, and then, luckily for me, she lives in the building. So now I'll have to see her in the lift.
And now you won't be for very much longer.
So now I'll have to see her in the lift. But anyway, I thought that was a good story to tell you because it's a very me story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of
your desperation, really.
No, I'm just not paying attention.
Sure.
Yeah, anyway.
If that's how you want to paint it.
That's how I am painting it, lover.
Don't call me that.
You don't like when I call you anything. Lover, bae, boo.
Because you're none of those things to me.
No, but I just say them to you to annoy you.
Yeah, they do.
I'm like, hey, boo.
Oh.
Yeah. And you react every time, and it just continues to make me want to keep doing it.
Oh.
So, hey, we've got a pretty special episode coming up. And it's special for a couple of reasons. Firstly, everyone, it's the Monique Brumby, the sequel episode.
That's not going to work. Stop making it happen.
That's a thing. Monique Brumby, the sequel. It's happened. It's already happened. It's taken off on social media.
If you tweet it doesn't mean it's taken off.
No, we seem to be bigger on Instagram than we are on any other channel. Although the right-wing
that's probably
religious
because
people.
Every time you do a new post, there's 6 things.
You know what? Sometimes I regret
how you set it up.
Yeah.
And so you should, because I like to support the show as well. And I have to
because it's so hard to just hit that tap button. And
then I get a text from you. Stop being obsessed with me.
Yeah, because all these notifications come up on my phone, like, Sarah likes your post, Sarah likes your post. I'm like, it's never going to happen,
These
Sarah.
are the only posts that I like of yours.
It's never going to happen.
I don't like your personal posts.
Hey, I'm pretty funny. I've been actually trying to work out Instagram algorithms. So I've been posting a shit ton and then nothing and then just trying to figure out how how it all works, because sorry for everyone who follows me. And not many people follow me on my personal one because I don't let a lot of people follow me.
I don't follow you.
Yes, you do.
Anymore.
No, this is a very special episode because it's got Monique Brumby. Now, I interviewed Monique Brumby in the first season, and she, I sent her a text and I said, that she kind of changed the game for me on this podcast. I just want to clarify that because I send odd texts and just like essays of crap in my mind. Because what I want to say is that I never interviewed anyone before I interviewed Monique Brumby.
And so you're a virgin.
Yeah, an interview virgin. And when I was so scared before she rang.
Yeah, I saw your little note on your microphone just before.
What was that?
Be cool, Tyso. Be cool.
Yeah, I chucked that up for Jill Sabule because I had...
Trust me, you're not.
Anyway. So, no, when I first interviewed Monique, I'm a big fan of her music, and I didn't know how she would be or kind of what she was like as a person. And the minute she said hello to me, I relaxed and I was like, oh, thank God. And we had a lot of fun from my perspective. I'm not sure how Monique felt about it.
Well, she spoke to you again.
Yeah, so she had fun. I know she was. I'm just doing self-depreciating humour. But it did. It changed the game for me because I kept the feel of that interview with Monique. I kept going in other interviews, and people have written to me and said that they enjoy my conversational style of interview. And if you do enjoy my
well, that's somebody who's never actually had a conversation with you. Can I just let people know they're not that great in person?
But if you do enjoy my conversational style of interview, you're actually really going to love this interview.
Well, this is quite an interesting interview.
Yeah.
Whether it would be classified as an interview or a first date, I don't know.
I don't really ask many questions.
Well, the only question you ask, you hyped up about. I need to work out my words. I'm probably just going to, fumble this out. How do you write songs?
Oh, I listened back to this interview the other day and I was like, why would that be the thing that I fumbled over? Like, how do you write songs? Like, that's quite embarrassing. And I'm going to leave that stuff in.
Well, the embarrassing part is forcing her to sing.
Did I force her or did she willingly participate?
No.
You think it was a forced...
Sing anchor! Sing anchor! No. I just basically watch you cough up a lung.
I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm getting sick again.
Oh my God, it's a zombie apocalypse.
I don't think I haven't thought of that.
Oh, don't trust me. I would easily kill you.
You'd be the worst person to be with in a zombie apocalypse. You wouldn't even think. You wouldn't even go, I'd cough and you'd... It would be over.
Well, that's the thing about it. You can't take any risks.
But I'd be the opposite because I'd be like, oh, hey, Boo, like, you all right? Like,
Hey, Boo, are you bleeding from your eyes and your mouth? You all right?
And I'd just tell you a few things before you, died. I'd be like...
Oh, some home truths.
Yes. Yeah, take this with you into the next life. When I was sitting at work the day that I was going to call her,
Yeah, don't tell that story.
No, I was sitting at work and I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we just didn't even do the interview and we just sang songs from my favourite album of hers, which is Skeleton's Poker, which is just a phenomenal album. For anyone who's never listened to that, I'm berating you in my head right now because that album is just, it's classic.
Yes, but you're only this way because Monique was your teen crush.
Was she? I don't remember that at all.
Oh, please.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't recall that at all. But no, it's a great album. And so she did. She sang, I think she willingly participated.
Oh, sure.
In fact, didn't she ask me if I wanted her to sing?
No.
But no.
Anchor, love Anchor, love Anchor. Oh, that's such a great song. Anchor.
Like, yeah. No, I'm really glad she did though. And I've never seen her perform that song live. I think I would probably cry because I love it. It's such a beautiful song, and it's so. To me, I think it's a romantic song. Like, I love it, and I think I said once to Angie that would be the song that I would have at like a wedding if I was to ever have a wedding.
Okay, I know these people in your life.
My friend Angie,
probably don't.
Guys,
it's like when you said, "Oh, Kate was coming over before." Who's Kate? How does she know Kate? What's Kate?
Kate's another friend. But she's a friend of both of ours. We've known for about 20 years. Sorry, everybody. It must be my conversational style of talking.
I told you it's lacking.
I know. I can't tell a good story. I can't because I sidetrack off into different things. Pretty much what I've done this entire episode. All I wanted to tell people was that I spoke to Monique Brumby again, and yet I've gone off into a million other... Yeah, I'm not really great at that.
No. It shows. It's unprofessional.
And considering I do social media for a job where I have to be concise, I'm not concise in real life. I think even Monique Brumby would know that from the text that I've sent her.
Well, judging by the hour, 20-minute interview, you're not concise.
But it's great because the second thing I wanted to say about Monique Brumby is after that interview, a shit ton of people sent me emails and Instagram messages and some Facebook messages too, I think.
It just kept on coming and coming and coming.
It did. And people saying really nice things about Monique and how much they loved the interview and how much they loved Monique. And someone had met her in a shop.
Yeah.
There was more recently someone from Finland, which is in my head. I put them all down and I told Monique about them, everyone. So, and I think I responded to most of them with she's really amazing. But yeah, I could not believe the volume of mail coming in regard to that interview. Because we get mail from other interviews as well, but I've not seen anything like the Monique Brumby mail. Wow. Which is completely, I can completely understand it too, because
she's a lesbian icon.
Yeah, and she's terrific. And I can see how anyone listening to that interview would just be like, this is an amazing person. So that's really great. So yeah, I don't really ask her a lot of questions in this interview. She tells me how to keep fish alive, which is something that is a good conversation.
You're a monster, quite honestly.
I'm not a monster. I love too much, Sarah.
Oh, I love too little.
No, well, those fish are a nightmare to me. That big one. Oh, you can hear it now. It's like bashing the glass.
It needs some attention.
I cannot give it more attention than it gets. I'm just saying. It's bashing the glass. I don't know if anyone heard that. What else do we talk about? Oh, she tells that Bangles story, which I'm still feeling like my stomach goes funny.
The horse biting your tit story.
Yeah, God. Can anyone in my life not ever hear that story?
No.
Yeah. Scarred for years. Mentally and physically. Yeah.
Do you want to see the scar? Is that your pickup line?
No, because I couldn't. No, I don't have any pickup lines.
No, you've got no game.
Anyway, we've spoken enough, about.
Yeah, I'm like, shut up.
This is what I mean. Anyone writing in telling me they love my conversational style, this is it.
Yeah. I mean, this will be edited, most surely.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Because you just need to chill out. Let them have what they want, which is Monique.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear about you anymore.
Okay. Yeah, fine. They can probably understand why the conversation.
Reminder, this is about Monique.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, guys, enjoy the Monique Brumby interview. Actually, we've recorded for 19 minutes. So yeah, I'll let you go. My family photos, though.
Yeah, can we talk about that in the interview? So I I think that needs to get out there.
Yeah, well, it was my sister's 40th recently, and my parents dragged all these boxes out of horrendous photos of us. Me with like weird mullet haircuts, and we were all in matching clothes. And there's like one photograph of my sister sleeping in a really bad way. And she's like, what the hell is happening? And my dad was like, oh yeah, we saw you sleeping. And so we took a photo of you and put it in an album. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
oh, they love you.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of cute because, you know, when I was a girl, no one took photos of me. You know, because everyone's got phones now, and they just take photos all the time and put them on social media. But all my photos when I was little, well, a lot of them when I was a baby, are sort of all faded, and you know, there's not that many. And I guess that happens too when you're the second child. You know, you come along and they're like, oh yeah, we've got heaps of photos of the first one, and well, that you're sort of the same.
Yeah,
you're not.
Yeah, but yeah. So we'll take a few just so you don't feel bad.
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
So there's some documentation that you existed as a child.
Yeah.
But no, there are a few random photos of me floating around. That I want to talk to you about. Are you recording?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, good. Excellent. You just like press that without me knowing.
Yeah.
I do that in the studio when I'm recording artists. I don't tell them sometimes because then they get the red light fever, I call it.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think that you'd get the red light fever, but I thought, no, because I just let you go. Like, that's what happened last time, and you were just terrific.
Let you go.
Yeah,
just wind her up and let her go. Let her spin around.
Yeah.
It's funny you're talking about family photos because, you sort of, you don't realise at the time, obviously you're in the era and it's the fashions of that time, and when you're in it, you think you're excellent in it, right? You think this is the latest, greatest balanced jumper that I'm wearing, and I look fantastic in that.
Yeah, check out my Esprit shirt, everybody.
I was talking to my friend Jackie about Canterbury tops, and Esprit, it was sort of a similar thing, right?
Yes.
Because you had the Esprit written on the front, and the Canterbury tops were all like different colours with the collars, you know?
Oh, man, they were...
Remember those?
Yes, and you can still get them.
Oh, look, I think I have to get some more Canterbury tops because it's been about 30 years. But yeah, because I recently did the show down here in Hobart, More Than Just a Tomboy, and I had to go through photos, right? And just some absolute shockers. And there was one day where my family thought it was a great idea to go to one of those ye olde worldy photo places where everyone dresses up like the times before penicillin. Ben's got his little squeaker toy. Bring it over here. That's my puppy. He's got this little frog. Anyway, that's off topic, Sally. Sorry.
He is a very cute dog, though. So
he's very cute.
Yeah.
So we went into the place, and I really wanted to be dressed like a stable hand, you know, like a really cute boy with like braces and a shirt, my hair slicked back with some little leather boots and jodhpurs, right?
Total lesbian.
Oh no. Oh no, they had the outfit there for me that was like a fucking dress with frills on it and a bonnet. And there's this photo, and I showed it in the Tomboy show. It's demoralising and humiliating, but, you know, and it's my whole family, and we all look like we're in a really bad mood because obviously everyone's just kicked up the big... My sister and I have just gone, what the hell is this, you know? We didn't sign up as your children for this shit. Like, we want better stuff than this, you know?
Yeah, we deserve better stuff than this.
Did you ever have those random photos done, like ye olde worldy ones?
No, but
you're lucky then,
yeah,
aren't you?
but you used to be able to get them at Dreamworld. And
okay.
Yeah, so every Brisbane family, I think, apart from us, because my dad was like really tight with money and he thought that was a waste of money. So he'd just rather line us up like against a wall and take a photo. But yeah, every Brisbane family has these photos of like gunslinging adventures at Dreamworld.
There you go. Yeah, it was the same because it was where we went was Richmond. It's like the old township of outside of Hobart, and you used to go there for like they'd have things to do for families, like the oldest bridge in Australia, I think, and then the Richmond Bridge, and then you know the maze, and you go in the maze, and they'd have the jail there, convict history, and Devonshire tea, and ye olde worldy photo place.
What was it with Ye Old World? Like, why was everyone obsessed with it?
I don't say ye old world, I say ye oldie worldy. I just realised I do that. It's for years I thought the whammy bar on a guitar was the wangy bar, and now I just still call it the wangy. I've got my wangy. I get words wrong sometimes, Sally. I do apologise. But yes, I don't know what the fascination is with getting dressed up in old clothes and having a family photo.
No, because everyone looks pissed off.
Kids get pissed off with that shit. It really creates a divide between parents and children. Yeah, my sister and I, we sort of, you know, my sister said to me once, you know, when we were grown, when we were young adults, she said, "Oh, Monty, I love you so much. You're the only one that has the same parents as me. You understand. I know you understand." And I said, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, one day my sister and I sat in a car at the shopping centre for like an hour and a half, not even realising, just going, who the hell are our parents? Like,
no, you'd forgotten who they were? Or?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, all of a sudden, bang, just forgotten. No, we were just like talking about all the stuff that had happened in our childhood. Like,
oh, yeah, and you thought, yeah.
We're just
too much acid in the 60s, Mum and Dad, come on.
Yeah, I'm like, what were you doing? Like, yeah, so we were just sitting there and we're just like, we're lucky we turned out as well as we did. Like,
yeah, I think you turned out pretty well, Sally. You're doing all right.
Oh, I hope so.
They must have done something right. I mean, you know, I've seen you as the young lesbian in the photos online and stuff like that. The day that Mum and Dad dressed me as a lesbian was the recent one. Was that one?
Yeah, what the hell? This is the thing. Everyone was so shocked and scandalised when I actually came out. But then I'm looking back at these photos and I said to them,
you should have known.
Are you insane that you reacted like that? Like,
yeah, you've always looked like that.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good that you could be that.
Yeah, well, I didn't even realise. Like, I guess there's a terrible photo we got. I don't know, when you take your first communion or something. I don't know what that's called. Maybe it's called taking your first communion. Yeah.
Yep.
Knew that was a fancy term.
Scrapping around in the dark for it, you found it.
Yeah,
Sally,
thank God.
Grab it.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank God, because that would have been embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my mum has put me in this skirt and this, I don't know, this top, and I think she must have made it, and it's horrible. And
is it like a doily?
It's kind of something
is
like that. No, it was blue, and I don't know why she did it. And I've always had really massive feet. Like, I'm the anomaly in our whole entire family. Even everyone goes like, I don't know how your feet got so big.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's good to be reminded. And yeah, and so then like I had like so much trouble with shoes and stuff, and I was like, in this situation, see now I'm going to get you upset with all my sob stories.
Oh, it's just it's terrible. You've had a hard time, you know.
That's right.
Big feet, dressed in a blue dress at communion.
Yeah.
You know, these scarring things. But you know, it's true that all those little increments of your life, you know, those little snippets of your life, they all form these massive puzzle, don't they? That all sort of interlocks together and makes you who you are. Like, even these small fragments of memories and things. And isn't it weird how sometimes, you know, you won't think about something for 20 years, and then all of a sudden someone from your past, from your childhood or something, will just pop into your mind, like some random person.
Yes.
Or some random incident that you've forgotten, and it'll sometimes be brought on by you might be walking somewhere and it's really familiar. Like, when I was a kid, I had these wonderful memories of like going down the street and going down to the local milk bar and meeting up with the other local kids and hanging out and playing. And, in the days where you could just play in the street till the sun went down and no one was worried about you because we felt safer then or something.
Yeah.
So, I feel very lucky to have grown up in the era that I have. My grandmother was in the war, the Second World War. She worked she was in the Air Force and she worked in Melbourne. And you can't really, our generation can't really fathom probably what it would have been like for, people to go away who were, in their early 20s, friends of my grandmother's, who she never saw again. They died in the war, And you think about that and, yeah, it just puts things into perspective, I suppose. So there are big life things, and then there are all these little incremental life things, family stuff, community stuff. Can you hear that squeaking?
I can hear that squeaking.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to get into it. He's got his little froggy.
No, don't worry about it, because in the background for me, my daughter has 5 goldfish. And one of them is massive, and he bashes the glass like he wants to get out.
Oh, wow. Well, he shouldn't do that because he wouldn't survive long.
Yeah, that's what I try to say.
As a goldfish.
Yeah, and his name is...
They've kind of got to be in the water.
His name is Sprinkles, which kind of makes it worse. And I'm like...
Has he got big eyes?
He's like... The other one has big eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But this is just like a gold one, and every time,
right.
every time you go up to the glass, he kind of looks at you like, you're gonna fuck you up, bitch. And I'm like, whoa, hey, just gonna give you some food, Sprinkles.
Sprinkles was a cute name. Who named him?
Lucy. Yeah, and then the other one is called Sunshine, and there's Mr. T.
Oh, yes, Mr. T got a mohawk.
He's got 2 black eyes. I don't know why he has these black eyes. And then there's Opal and Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good name.
That is a good name for a fish, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name.
Yeah, so they live here, and, that's...
They live here. It's like suddenly you've looked at them and they're going, yeah, we do, bitch.
Yeah, bitch, we live here.
You better be saying some nice stuff about us right now.
We own you.
They live here, and they're lovely fish.
Yes, they're very nice.
I used to have fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, tropical ones.
I like fish, but I don't have much luck with them, except for these guys.
Okay, well, this is the thing, right? Water filter, okay?
Yeah.
pH, right? Important. Checking that. Ammonia build up in the water, got to check that.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So if you've got lots of natural plants in there, plant waste goes off, makes the water full of ammonia, fish die. Don't have a filter in there, all the waste from the fish build up, pH goes AWOL, fish die. Right? So it's basically cleaning out the water, or, making sure that the water is constantly, rejuvenated.
That seems like
How do you do that, Sally?
It seems like a really simple formula. But
simple.
There is a filter.
Oh, that's good. So you're relying on that solely for the maintenance.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to be honest with you, and this may change our relationship, but I was like, when we got them, I was like, you know what, these guys are probably not going to last that long. So we'll just get...
I'm glad I'm not one of your pets.
No, you would love to be one of my pets. These guys are great. These guys get really spoilt. Actually, that's not true, because you can't really spoil a fish. We did have snails too in there.
I used to have snails, apple snails. They're funny. Have you ever seen them make out?
No, I wanted mine to.
Yeah, mine used to. They used to their little slimy bodies grip together.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, this little antler goes up out of the water. It sort of goes up to the surface. I don't know, it's like an antenna used to come out. They were apple snails I had. And I wrote a song about fish. it was called Silver Dollars, and it was actually the first single I put out on my second record. And Silver Dollars was basically taking different personalities of fish and looking at them as different personalities and people and how we interact in society. So you had the Harlequin, you know, the beautiful young girl who could cut through glass with her diamond eyes, and you had the apple snail who was sort of the silent achiever, you know. You had the silver shark who was like, you know, the aggressive kind of executive business person who wanted to, you know, make lots of money and destroy anyone that got in the way of that. And so I had all these characters, and yeah, I wrote this song. It was probably a little bit about the early part of my career in the music business, feeling like, you know, when you're young, you know, it's hard for people to take you that seriously, you know.
Yeah.
The squeaker's back. And I really, felt that I wanted to write about that. It's funny we were talking about fish because it just reminded me that I have written a song about, fish. So there you go. That was a nice segue, wasn't it? Round.
That is a nice segue. You know what I was gonna see it today. If I was sitting at work and I was like, I wonder if she would want to sing songs with me tonight, but I can't. Because, I was gonna say, let's do Skeletons Poker because that's my favourite album of yours.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and if we focus mainly from Anchor down, and then we could focus on those songs, we could just sing them.
I have no idea of the song order on that album at all.
I had to make a playlist on iTunes for my cousins when they came up. It's a long story of your music, and I made it. But
nice.
Yeah, but then it's not in the order that I know. So it really throws me.
It throws you out.
Yeah. So.
And I suppose, you know, when you're used to doing those synchronised dance moves that you've got worked out, Sally.
Yeah, the whole
You've got a routine. That's very lovely, though. That is very, very nice. I can't listen to my own albums. Once they're done, they're done, and I only will listen to them to relearn songs I haven't played in a long time, which is kind of sad in a way, because everybody else gets to listen to it.
I think you're really missing out on Skeletons Poker.
You know, sometimes, you know, I don't know if I told you this last time, but, you know, my sister, you know, she had one of my albums playing in her car one day, and she pulled up to pick me up. We were both living in Melbourne, and I heard this music was vaguely familiar, and I thought, gee, that's a nice melody. And then I listened a bit more close. I said, oh my God, is that me? And she said, oh yeah. And she said, and I said, oh, I've always thought that album was shit. And she said, no. She said, I love this album. It's one of your best albums. And I was like, I felt really good about it because for years I thought that album was shit.
What album?
But I often think that about my own stuff. I'm a bit sort of hard on myself, I think.
I feel like you are, because I love your album. What album did you think is shit?
Well, I thought that my second album was really overly compressed, which I still think it is in the mastering, but I think that the songs are quite strong on there. But, you know, you're always striving to make the perfect record, and I'm still doing that, you know. I recently got a upright piano, Sally. I don't know if you know this.
Oh, I saw it on Instagram.
I'm very excited. I know. So there's going to be lots of piano. This is the piano. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is.
So,
you should do Anchor while you're there.
I can't believe you're asking me to sing.
No, I'm not. That's what I was sitting there and I'm like, I wonder,
well, last time I did sing, didn't I?
Yeah, no, but I was like, because I love Anchor. Anchor is my favourite song of yours.
Stone.
Yeah.
I haven't sung that song in a long time.
I love it.
Yeah, I must resurrect that song. Haven't played it, haven't sung it. Ages. It's got a nice melody though. It's a bit of a ballad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, Sally.
And then I love Beautiful Heart and Valerie as well.
Yeah. Well, they get a bit of a workout live.
You should do Anchor. I would love.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
I'll learn it. Yeah.
Anchor is. It's like one of my most favorite songs. Like in my favorite song set of not just you, but of like how you've got like a number of songs that like you're like, yes, this would wake me up from a coma.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure Celine Dion's in there, isn't she?
Yes.
Do you know I have a Celine Dion story that I haven't told you?
All right, let's go. I need this.
All right, have you got your backwards jacket on? Are you ready?
Hang on, I'm just getting it on.
Still can't quite get over that look, but anyway.
Why? Yeah, go.
Well, I can't look away from Celine Dion when she's performing. There is something about the convulsive nature of her body and that stick-like figure that she has.
It's like a praying mantis.
It's compelling.
It is compelling. I saw her in concert when I was 17, and I'm not ashamed to say, although I am a little bit ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
No, I wept. Like, I was like, I just was like, this is incredible. I was one of those dodgy people. I tell you, I was just wept. I was
Hang on, what singles did she have out at the time?
It was when Because You Loved Me, but she didn't play it. She didn't play that one.
So that was before the Titanic soundtrack, right?
Yeah, so this was...
way before.
What,
You've been a fan for years.
Yeah, I've been a real fan. And I'm like one of those like... Because I used to sort of like keep stuff to myself. Like, like it was almost like another coming out. Like... that is a coming out, admitting that you're a Celine Dion fan. Yeah.
That is... You're coming out now. To all of your listeners, Sally.
Yes, I have something to tell. No, I think people know now, like, because I think a lot of people used to think I was joking, and I'm like,
no, we know you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm like, not at all, not joking.
Not at all. Yeah, so I was in Melbourne, and I had a friend who worked at Columbia Records, and Celine Dion was on Columbia, right? And she was in Australia. And this was 1994, right? And she'd been in Australia, and I think she was doing just a meet and greet promo tour. I don't even know how that works, but back then it was a thing.
Wow.
So she'd just do private functions for media and the record company in the lead up to her next release. So 1994, was this the time when you...
No, this was before. So this must have been around... Was this like the Power of Love time?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, not that I'm a fan or anything.
I must say, though, I do have a thing for Canadian singers.
Really?
She's Canadian, right?
Yeah, like French Canadian.
And there's something about the lilt in their voice.
Yes.
That I really like Joni Mitchell.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I still remember the first time I heard Joni Mitchell, and it was in the car, and we were little, and my mum went to the bank, and she just left us in the car. Yeah, as you did, and she left 4KQ on the AM radio station.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that parking lot song came on. Like They Paved Paradise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've just gone blank and thinking what that's called. But I remember it was the first time I'd ever actually like listened to lyrics and understood a song, and I was like, who is this? Like, this isn't crazy. And then it just like, I was just like covered in Joni Mitchell, and I was like, I'm this angel. So yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really creepy.
Like as a songwriter, I think that song, is it Big Yellow Taxi, right?
Yes, it is Big Yellow Taxi.
Paved Paradise is a really good title though for that.
Yeah, it is actually. That's the alternate
I like that
title.
I think so. Yeah. You could actually do. I know there's just been a Joni Mitchell tribute show that's happening. and I know 3 artists that are in it: Wendy Matthews, Kate Miller-Heidke, and Ella Hooper.
Yeah.
And I had friends of mine who went. There's another 2 female artists, and I'm really sorry if they're listening to this podcast. I'm not sure who they are, but
Do you want me to Google?
my friends, my friends went, and yeah, they really liked it. And I asked what songs Ella did.
Yeah.
And I think she did that, "Help me, I think I'm falling in love again." I just love that song. I think she did that, and Free Man in Paris.
Free Man in Paris is one of my favourites.
Isn't that great? I know. I mean, but look, you listen to Joni Mitchell records, and the songwriting is so good. She's always been sort of a benchmark artist for me. And another Canadian singer that I love is Sean Colvin, and she did that. She probably broke through with the Sunny Came Home
That was
album.
great. There was all the lesbians like that, didn't they?
I don't know. I didn't do a lesbian survey, but I'm a lesbian and I liked it. So
I'm a lesbian and I liked it, so that is a
that's
good
a winner.
survey. Yeah.
Tick. I'm pretty sure that Sean is Canadian.
I can Google that
Could be
too.
wrong. Okay, Google away. So anyway, back to Celine Dion.
Yes, please. Yes.
So, my friend who worked at the record label said, I don't know if Sean Colvin is Canadian. I'm not sure. You might need to find that out. Can you Google that? She might be American. Anyway, she sounds Canadian. So they said Celine's going to be performing at this media launch, and it's on St Kilda Road in Melbourne. And this is a great opportunity for you. If you want to bring your guitar, we've organised for you to play 3 songs for the entire Sony record label. All the heads of all the departments will be there from Sydney. All the staff from across the country will be in Melbourne for this event. So I did. I went there. Celine Dion pulled away in her limousine. I didn't see her, but I'm assuming that that's what she did. I was really disappointed I didn't get to see it. I turned up in a taxi. There was no Uber in those days. If there had been an Uber, I would have got an Uber. And I turned up in a taxi, and I took my guitar in, and I played 3 songs.
Yep.
And they were 3 songs that ended up being on my first album, a song called One Day, my single Fool for You, and possibly another one, either The Change in Me or Mary, or one of those. So, and from that's when I got signed to Columbia, because the CEO of the record company came up to me and he said, "Would you like to be part of the Columbia family?" And it was sort of like, getting into the mafia. It was like, well, now I'm in, I can't ever get out,
Yes.
Here, sign on the dotted line or we'll kill you, sort of thing. So, so I said, sure, that sounds great.
Wow.
And I never got to meet Celine, but I played on the same stage that she had just performed on.
Yeah.
Literally half an hour after she'd left.
I can't believe she didn't stay around.
What's that?
I can't believe she didn't stay around.
I mean, yeah, she knew I was coming, right?
Yeah.
So should have thought that, Monique. That young Tasmanian lesbian's going to be here soon.
Yeah, and I'll probably just wait around and just see how she is. Like, yeah.
No, she was busy. She had stuff to do. She had to be back at the Hyatt and in a nice bubble bath. That's what I'd imagine she'd be doing.
Yeah, she had that weird hair back then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that probably needed washing.
It probably did, and blow drying.
Probably a lot of blow drying, yeah.
Did you find out if Sean is, I think she might be American.
She's American.
Yeah. Well, that blows that theory out of the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's from Illinois.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But I do love Sean Colvin, and I actually did some shows with her a few years ago, and I went to see her play solo last time she was in Melbourne. Yeah, she's a great songwriter. I think she's right up there with Joni Mitchell, but she's not as well known. But people that do know her really Really love her albums. Yeah.
What do you
So
think
there you
of?
go.
What do you think of Sophie B. Hawkins?
She seems to be completely unhinged, doesn't she?
She does actually. There's something up.
Yeah, like I did sort of this. I went to Sophie B. Hawkins just viewing in the last year, at some point, around the time where she, damn, wish I was your lover, and she put that out. And then, so I was like, oh, okay, she's wearing the flannelette shirt and the ripped jeans. And then in every interview around that time, she was just nuts. Live performances and things like that. But I don't really know that much of other stuff that she's done. I have listened to some of her music. What do you think of her?
She has an album called Whaler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that's
Do you like it?
I love that album.
I'll check it out.
Me and my friend Brendan, I mean, when we were younger, like we were in our 20s.
Hang on one sec.
Okay.
Beppy, good boy. Shush. Good boy. He's being guard dog at the
Yeah, I'm
moment.
like, sounds like there's going to be a home invasion.
Oh, God. Hang on, I've just got to go see what he's doing.
Okay.
So what were you saying about Whaler?
Oh, yeah, me and my friend Brendan, when we were in our 20s, we would just sit on his veranda and just listen to this album just from beginning to end, and that was really the whole story.
Oh, that's good. It's nice when you've got albums that, look, see, there's no one there. Good boy, back in. It's nice when you've got albums that you have those special albums with friends.
Yes.
That remind you of someone and a time and, and it's interesting too, sometimes you go back to music that you used to listen to. Like when I was a kid, my uncle used to go, he was in the Merchant Navy, and he used to go into the China Sea, and he used to go to Singapore and all these places, and he'd bring back cassettes. And one of the cassettes that I remember he brought back for me was Janet Jackson with Nasty Boys Don't Mean a Thing.
Yes.
Oh, you nasty boys. And so recently I was like, oh, that's right, I want to listen to that again. And I listened to it, and it really, I just couldn't listen to it. And I thought, yeah, I've moved on.
Really? Fun fact, just let me blow your mind. I don't know if you're a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race.
No.
It doesn't sound like you are.
I don't really watch that, but I think I have seen snippets of it.
Yeah, it's really...
I probably would be if I watched it, but...
Yeah, it's really good.
Talk to me about that. What's happened?
They did... Well, I mean, God, what hasn't happened?
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty filled with drama. But they did, at the grand finale, they had a couple...
Did they do that?
Yeah, they had to lip sync to that song.
Did they do Nasty Boy?
Yeah, because RuPaul is fully obsessed with Janet Jackson. And I'm like, that's what I need, a show like that where I can play my music and make people dance to it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah, what, for you?
Well, yeah, it's not really, but I would like to have a show where I'd just be like, all right, now we're going to have some Celine Dion, and people have to lip sync to that. So, yeah, and I'll lip sync as well. That
sounds good.
Yeah,
but
it does.
No, are you talking about a show with visuals?
Yeah, I don't think I'd have a show though.
Because then you've got, well, you know what, you might, but you've got to sort of, to have people dancing. I mean, I'm dancing now. I am.
That's good.
Yeah. I just started doing it, and it's really daggy dancing, and no one can see.
That's good. That's the best kind.
Yeah.
That's the kind I do to Celine Dion. Like, I get my headphones on because I don't want the neighbours knowing what goes on in here.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then I do the air piano and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. So.
Yeah, I actually want to get a keytar.
A keytar?
The keytars. They wear them like a guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, I was seriously looking at getting one about 2 years ago.
Oh, you should. Why did you not get it?
I know. Well, now I've got the piano. See, because I've never really been a pianist.
Yeah.
So every day I do an hour's practice.
Wow.
And I'm basically just teaching myself I thought, well, what am I going to do here? Okay, how about I just transpose all my songs from guitar onto piano, right?
Yes.
And because they're the ones I'll probably be playing.
Like Anchor.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm just.
Well, it starts on. Oh, what is it again? It starts on D, doesn't it? I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm like I don't actually know. Do you want me to Google it?
You put around your heart. Yeah, I've got a bit of practice to do.
Well, it sounded great from here.
I love playing the piano, and it's interesting because since I've been sort of dedicating some time to it, I'm hearing lots of different voicings and things when I'm driving around. You know how sometimes you're driving around, and I've got an old Rattler ute that I drive around in, and it sort of hums and stuff happens, and it's good to sing in there because when there's noise around, you don't feel like it's stuff. You kind of got to sing to sort of come to terms with the fact that you're driving an old bomby car and everyone on the road is overtaking you. So you go at a certain pace.
Yeah.
You're going up the hill. You're in third on the outside lane, and you're just ploughing up the hill at about 70, and everyone's passing you. But you know what?
Yeah.
You've got time to sing, right?
That's right. It's cool.
Okay? So you've got to kind of look at it in these ways of, yes, I don't have the car that I would love, but I've got time to sing. And so when I'm singing like that, Sally, in the ute, all these new harmony, melodies and scales and things are coming out since I've been dedicating some time to the piano, which has been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Is that how I don't know. I'm just gonna trip over a couple of my words here for a minute. So if you don't mind, how do you write songs? What that came out better than I thought.
Well, it's interesting that it's a broad answer, I suppose, because everybody writes songs probably in different ways. I mean, that's a really good question because I do workshops on songwriting, and they're sometimes really hard to work out how you're going to conduct a workshop on songwriting because everybody comes to music or creativity from a different perspective. So you might have someone who has great lyrical ideas, but they don't know how to put that to music, or someone might have fantastic grasp of chord changes and orchestration, but can't write lyrics. But there's all sorts of different songs. Obviously, you've got instrumental music, and you've got really fast-paced, lyrical-driven music. And so, for me, I mean, I write songs traditionally for many years on guitar, and what I found is the most intuitive way for me to write is to really just take myself out of the equation, as if I'm not even there, Sally, as if I don't exist.
Yeah. And
then the music, let the content just sort of flow out. It's really important to be recording that shit when you do it, because then it all finishes and it's like, oh my God, oh, that wasn't documented. I'll never be able to remember what I just did. Mm-hmm. And that's generally, I find, when the most profound things or the things that I'm most pleased about in terms of a song come about. But sometimes like a song I've got called Small Town, it took me maybe 2 years to write that because I had a story that I wanted to tell, and it was very much a story narrative sort of song. And it took a long time to get the arrangement right on that. So sometimes it'll be a melody that'll come into my head, and sometimes it'll just be the music and words all at once. They're generally the most enjoyable ones, when you write like that. I've only ever written a couple of songs just in one go. 4 songs, that's the song, moving on, which doesn't happen that often. But yeah, so all different ways of writing, really.
Do you get inspired by people or that you meet and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I get inspired by people every day. Yeah, I really try to think broadly, be open-minded to other people's different perspectives to mine. And I think that's come with age a little bit. I think that, collaboration's really good in music. So, a lot of the songs that I have written over time I've written, and it's just been me writing them, but I have really enjoyed doing collaborations with people. Like, I've written quite a few songs with my bass player Marianne over the years, and when you do find people who you can collaborate with, it's really fun because it gets a bit lonely writing on your own, or playing and writing on your own. So I do like to have my band members around, and if I'm making an album, everyone's input is very important to me. Like, whoever's playing their instrument feels like they're having a good time, and they're getting something creative out of it. So I do get inspired by people not only I play music with, but just everyday people. Like people that are just doing stuff that is inspiring. I mean, I know that recently you spoke to Rodney Croom, and I find Rodney to be a very inspirational person in what he does, and he's really was so brave in those early days, and to be so bold, to be open to persecution, in time in Tasmania where homosexuality was illegal and all of those things. And so you've got people like that put themselves on the line, but then you've also got people in the world, friends of mine who are mums, single mums who are just working and striving and to give everything they can to their kids, and and then you've got people, widowers, and who've lost their partner, and you've got all sorts of people in the world, and sometimes it's just a small gesture, isn't it? Like that, from a person, if you're out and about, what a difference it makes when someone says hello, how are you? The local community here, I'm doing a project with the Glenorchy council here, or not with the Glenorchy council. It's a community services in Glenorchy. They're completely separate to the council. They run their own thing, working with young people and community members who feel marginalised, maybe because they're immigrants, and that they may be struggling to feel like they're part of the community, to learn a new language, just to fit in with a different culture, and all of those things. And I'm writing a piece of music that's almost a mantra, and one of the themes that they wanted to include in it was basically just acknowledging people when you see them. To say good morning or give them a wave, and I must say, when I walk my dogs on the beach down here, and people say good morning, it's just really nice. It actually, or someone just gives you a smile or whatever, and I don't know, I think it's nice to have a feeling of we're all looking out for one another. And I know that it sounds like it's utopia, that it's not even reality of a lot of parts of the world that are so conflicted in war, civil war, or war with other parties. But I think the internal struggles that we all have, the feelings of anxiety can be abated somewhat by just trying to be there on a daily basis and be present, and give assistance to people if they need it in the community. Like if you see someone who's struggling on the street, and they're struggling to carry their groceries or whatever. It was funny, I went to see a comedy show the other night here at Joker's Comedy, which I absolutely love. It's on Wednesday nights at the Polish Club. It's fucking hilarious. And I took my mum, and it was Claire Hooper was headlining.
Yes.
And she was hilarious. There was one joke she told. She said, having kids, it's like you go to the supermarket, right? and you feel like you've got heaps of really heavy bags, and then you walk out and you realise that you've left your car at home and you've got to carry the bags, but like forever. And she said, and then you start walking down like the path and stuff, and you know, you're thinking, well, can I just get rid of them in these bushes when no one's looking? So, yeah, like just going out, finding lighter moments, you know, and realising that, you know, someone's story, you know, is unique and it's interesting. And so it gets back to being inspired by people, what you asked me before. Like, I'm inspired by people every day, but not heroes that have saved the world.
Yeah.
Just everyday people that is just striving to survive, or striving to be better, or striving to give something of themselves. I find that really inspiring.
Yeah, I think that is really inspiring. And going back to Rodney Croome, I couldn't even believe what he said to me in that interview, like about what had happened and stuff, like, and how he's just like this ordinary man, and he just kept fighting and fighting.
Yeah, he's a very humble man, and you know, he's had to cop so much abuse, particularly in the early days, and he's had a lot to overcome, and now, of course, you know, what we're looking to achieve with the issues around trans people, and you know, how they can have, you know, legal rights, you know, not have to get divorced, to you know, to change their name, and you know, not have to get reproductive organs removed to be legally recognised as the gender that they feel that they are. I mean, I just don't understand why we're so hung up on gender. I mean, who cares? I mean, people care. Obviously, a lot of people care, but I don't. I you know, I just take a person at face value, who they are. If they're a good person, their gender is whatever they feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
We just need to be a bit more open-minded, don't we? And I think that obviously probably most people listening to this podcast, all 50 million of you.
Yes. I think it's 100 million now, so.
Oh, you're up to 100 million?
100 million, yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, just taking off.
That's really wrong. That came out really wrong. 100 minge. That's dreadful. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is that some infection?
It sounds like that. Yeah.
Hey, she's come down with 100 minge.
I don't want to pry, but if you want to talk about it, we can.
You didn't want to pry.
You know, we can talk about it if you want. But
oh, no, look, it's all right. I'll just, keep that to myself.
I can cut that out if you want.
But, you know, look, I'm sure that, you know, most people listening, we know, I'm preaching to the converted here. I mean, you know, it's common sense, right? It is, but but people, I don't understand why there's this group of people in society that always have to be under the banner of a religion, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, casting dispersions on others who are different to them, based on some, you know, books that were written years ago that don't really have relevance. And they do look, hey, listen, I'm not saying I'm against people having faith, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I actually think that, and I've seen firsthand, that, you know, religious faith for some people has given their life new meaning and hope, right? So I'm not saying that, because I'm open-minded. So I say, if you want to have religion, you go for it.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, right?
Yeah, go for it.
When people then stand up and say, well, I'm going to use this as a tool to persecute you or others who are different to me. And I just don't think that's right.
No, I think it's bullshit, and we are of like minds, because I interviewed this priest the other day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I was like, this bullshit, I don't understand. I didn't say that to him. I was very polite. But yeah, he was talking to me about, like, you know, the Bible, and the Bible doesn't actually say that people need to like burn in hell for all eternity for being homosexuals, or it doesn't actually say that. So you might like that interview when I put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's really great because it's Dr. Peter Catt. He's in Brisbane.
Okay.
And my ex and I got our daughter, christened because we were like, it's gateway to private school maybe, and everyone else in the family was christened, so we're like, she has 2 mums, let's give her something. And then we went to church when we were kids and it was terrible, and then my mum was like, we'll go, let's get it done there. Anyway, the minister said, no, I can't do it because I don't agree with lesbians and mums. And so Peter Catt went, come down to the cathedral, pals, and get it done.
What was that, Anglican or was it?
Yeah, Anglican.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so he did it, and that was great. Like, and I have
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really good.
And I'm not religious in any sense of anything. But I think it's so important to some people.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that you're going to get people who are priests and who are devout religious people who will go against the archaic teachings that have always been, because they have a more of a humanitarian or social justice kind of view. And that's good to see that sort of permeating out. And I think that's just is a continuation of society and what we reflect, and so things change and things are shifting and moving, and it's just up to each of us to be just to try and be mindful, I suppose, to be bold enough to be ourselves, authentic. It's sometimes hard for people, especially when people, you go to work and you kind of have to. A lot of people work in jobs where you have to sort of fit yourself into a mold when you're at work, and then you sort of you wonder. People question what life's about, and look, it's different for everyone.
My job is one of those jobs where you have to kind of fit a bit of a mould, but see, I don't fit the mould, so I just have to come as I am.
Yeah, well, that's good if you can.
That's
fantastic.
I'm just like, well, this is it. So
that's good. It's good. It's so refreshing to be able to be yourself, and when you are, I generally find that people respond more heartily to that, because but it's a self-confidence that comes, I think, with a bit of age. And when I work with young people, I'm always trying to encourage them to just don't try to push it beyond what feels comfortable for them, or pretend to be something that they're not. You've just got to go through life and just not get too stressed if you got stuff to learn, because everybody's got stuff to learn.
Still, even now, I'm 38 and I still learn stuff.
Even now
at 38, I'm still learning stuff.
Well, that's good to hear, Sally.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm really, and that's right. I mean, you would be learning all the time, interviewing different people and challenging yourself.
Yeah, I'm interviewing a porn star tomorrow night.
Wow. Really?
Well, yeah, it's a long story, but I looked up who Stormy Daniels was.
Oh yeah.
And I did, because I didn't know, and I was like, I thought
she was a porn star, right?
Yeah, I thought she was a stripper. She wasn't, and I kind of went down this dark rabbit hole of internet detectiveness, and I was like, oh no, I'm not into porn. I probably don't need to tell you this as a rule, but I was like, oh, this is crazy, this crazy world. And I was like, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nobody talks about it. Anyway, it ended up getting me onto, I saw this Brandy Love. She's an award-winning MILF. And she does university lectures and she's written books and stuff. And I was like, here's an interesting lady who is like a power porn star. So I'm just going to interview her. I want to talk to her about
Wow, that'll be interesting. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, and she's really, like, she's kind of, like, she likes Nickelback and stuff.
Oh, well, don't hold that against her.
Well, yeah, it was hard. I almost cancelled. But no, so I was like, I just want to kind of interview all these kind of different people and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I need to ask you, have you watched Killing Eve?
No, I haven't.
You have to watch Killing Eve.
Okay, I will. It's
Look,
on the list.
Yeah, I don't know what you're, like, if you like stuff like that, but it's like, it's really cool. I guarantee you'll...
Okay, so what's stuff like that? I don't even know what it is.
Well, no, it's like, it's like a kind of, she's an assassin.
Well, yeah, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, you will love this then. You'll eat this shit up. Yeah.
I mean, they say she's an assassin. I mean...
Done. I'm just going to pop it on now while we talk. Yeah, no, you will freaking love it.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I finally watched Nanette the other day.
Did you? That was insane, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really great, and, obviously I'm Tassie, lesbian, got 2 eyes, lips and hair. We've got a lot in common.
Yes.
But,
one of my friends said that they thought you were a more interesting lesbian than Hannah Gadsby, and I was like, okay.
What sort of? Hannah, I think she.
Oh no, she's great. Yeah.
I couldn't do a stand-up show like that. I would be freaked out.
Yeah.
She did a really good job with that, because I think what it did was it crossed over. Because it was on such a big stage, and it's good. It's good that it's drawing attention to. I think what I really liked about it was she said I wasn't telling my full story, because I was always making myself a punchline.
Yeah.
And it was sort of putting myself down in order to get a laugh. So I can't be a comedian anymore. So I thought it was quite good. I wouldn't have wanted to be a straight white man in the audience, though.
Holy shit, no. I would have left. I would have snuck out the back and gone, oh yeah, I'm out. Like,
I'm out.
Yeah, like I'll watch it on Netflix.
Well, I mean, people are being taken to task now, aren't they?
Yeah, I love
over
all of this.
These, the way that we treat people women, how we treat women, how we need to be better. We need to be more thoughtful, more loving, more kind, gentler, less ego-driven, all of these things that we know. But, the human condition is such that I don't know how quickly we're evolving here, Sally.
I feel like we're evolving by the second.
I've evolved just in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a brand new person. We should do TED Talks. No, I agree. But I also need to tell you that I watched Disobedience, and I don't know if you've watched that.
I haven't, no.
I think that you need to watch that.
I will too.
Yeah, just write that down.
Yeah, writing, Disobedience, and what else did I have to see?
Killing Eve.
Oh, yeah,
I think,
Eve.
like a crazy person, I put it in one of my emails to you, like, P.S., have you watched Killing Eve? Because,
okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I go through these, and Disobedience, is that a movie?
Yeah, it's got Rachel Weisz in it and Rachel McAdams.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Did you like it?
Do you know, that is so funny, because so many times over the years, I'll be watching a movie with Marianne, who plays bass with me, right? And she just cracks up laughing, because I literally get an hour into the film and go, oh my God, I've seen this. I've all forgotten. But I only saw that at the movies about a month ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Did you like it?
I don't know. I've kind of wiped a bit of it from my brain.
Right.
I don't know if it really resonated with me.
I don't think it did.
I don't think so. See, this is what happens with films.
Yeah.
I'm right there in the moment, and if it doesn't really capture me, I'll forget about it. But then I could just be speaking utter shit, because I have been to the movies recently, and I can't remember if I saw that. Well, I might have just seen the shorts for it. See? So I may not have actually seen the whole film. Oh, I've got problems with films. I can't, except for Carol. No.
Carol was
if
great.
films resonate with me, I do remember them. So,
Yep.
In Disobedience, oh, no, I didn't like it. At the end, I can't give it away. No,
I know.
Me.
Did you? I didn't like that ending either.
See, I remembered it.
Yes. We just needed to coax it out of you.
Can you believe that? Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. No, yep, I have. Yep, no.
I might have just seen the trailer.
I saw the whole film. And yet, because I didn't like it, that's why I just went out of my brain.
Yeah, that ending was bullshit.
The ending was utter bollocks.
What the hell was that? I don't even...
it was just shit. But I didn't believe the love affair. Not liking Carol.
No, Carol was like...
That was believable.
That was...
Just because we want Kate Blanchett to be a lesbian. Let's face facts.
That was the most believable relationship.
I was even hoping for her to be a lesbian in Ocean's 8 or whatever it was.
She is. I think she is.
Well, this is it, isn't it? See?
Yeah, I think she is.
They're going, yes, she is.
Yeah, the way she sits and stuff, and her her terrific suits and stuff. I'm like,
well, it's like Subarus, right? Apparently, have been designed for lesbians. So Marianne tells me.
Really?
Apparently, and I think Kate Blanchett's been designed for lesbians.
Yes, I am completely 100% with you.
Yeah, Kate, you've just been designed to appeal to lesbians. Well, look, listen. People who are making films aren't stupid, are they?
No, they're not.
They're going, hang on a second, who's the demographic here? Well, we've got to appeal to that market, and that market being the lesbian market. Of course, they're going to give Kate a little bit of a kiss to scene, you know?
Yeah, we're going to
have a bit of a kiss with Sandra.
Yeah, and then when Sandra Bullock gave her food and stuff, I was like, lesbians.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But they have those moments in there because they're smart.
Yeah. And because lesbians
want to get us going.
Yeah, because you don't get anything from anything other than Carol. Although on the weekend I had a kid-free weekend, and I watched some lesbian movies on Netflix.
Yeah.
And one of them I watched was called, it's really dodgy, Loving Annabelle, and it was about some Catholic schoolgirl who falls in love with her teacher and vice versa. Drama. It's good. You should watch it. It's pretty dodgy.
Okay, did you like it?
I did really like it because that kind of thing is right up my alley. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I had to watch it as a grown-up because I was like, oh, yeah, no wonder the teacher's a bit, funny about, not going into this affair with her. But, yeah, it was weird watching it as a grown-up. But, There's another movie.
What do you mean as a grown-up?
No,
Is it an old film?
No, it's from 2006. So the fashion is on point. And I guess, you should see the mobile phone one of them has. But I kind of was watching it because I was folding washing at the same time because I can.
Yeah, right. So you like to do those menial tasks.
Yeah.
Well, because last time I spoke to you, I was cleaning a table.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. I was watching it and I'm watching it and I'm like, come on, just have sex already. All this is nearly done. And then I was I was sitting there afterwards and I'm like, so I would, no wonder she was a bit funny about not sleeping with her student. Anyway, they ended up having sex in the end. So I was like, good.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I won't bother watching that then.
No, you should though, because the build up to it.
It sounds riveting, Sally. I mean, you're really sold. Especially the bit about the type of mobile phone she had. Random fact.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. I like dropping fun facts in for you, so you can look out for them when you're watching it. It's pretty much a fashion fest of those 3/4 jeans that people used to wear and stuff.
They've kind of come back, haven't they? Yes. Or people are just rolling their jeans up now.
I think maybe they are. Hipsters do it, I think.
I don't know. I've never really... I'm not up with fashion. I don't know. I just wear whatever I feel like wearing. My mum always looks at me and says, put a comb through your hair, or my dad said to me the other day, when you go to the shop, buy yourself a comb. Stuff like that. But mum's always trying to change the landscape of my attire.
Yeah, what mums are like that, aren't they?
It's super cute though. Like,
Yeah.
she means well.
Yeah.
She just wants me to be a mini her. Like a little her. She used to dress me like that when I was young, Like,
That's really
little
cute.
peach coloured, twin sets and dangly earrings and stuff. Looks dreadful. Oh. And the other day, I was at her house and she said, "Oh, are you cold? I'll get you a top."
Oh.
And she got me a top and it was pink. I said, "I can't wear this." And she said, "I'll just put it on." And I put it on. She goes, "Oh, no, you're not really a pink person, are you?" I said, "No, 44 years to realise. No, I'm not.
Well, thank God we found out now.
I'm not a pink person, no."
No, you don't feel like a pink person.
No, I'm so not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me brown.
Yeah.
I remember one of the best things that anyone ever wrote about me when I was young was Monique Brumby at the interview turned up making brown the new black. Because I had brown slacks I used to wear,
Yeah.
and they really were slacks. They weren't just trousers.
Slacks.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, cool. Like, I've made brown the new black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good quote. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, brown, moss green, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a bit of like a stripe of blue or yellow.
Ooh, I like mustard at the moment.
Yeah, mustard is okay. You just don't paint your walls mustard.
No.
Done that. Bad mistake.
That seems like a mistake I could have said to you right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like someone shat on your wall. That's really bad.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge mistake. My school uniform was mustard. Mustard and brown. So yeah, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the 90s though. They didn't care about fashion in the 90s.
Yeah, everyone cared about fashion. I had the 90s hair, the 90s eyebrows.
You were so 90s.
I was so 90s.
Yeah.
Well, that's when my first record came out.
Yeah, no.
You can't change history.
No, I love the 90s though, because I was alternative.
Because I like 90s music.
Yes.
Like, I like the songs, like, get us back to some good songs. There's lots of good music out there, but there were some good stuff going on in the 90s.
I drew this thing last night, and I'm not a drawer, but I drew this thing, and it was like music as a body, and I had all the heart stuff, like this Dolly and Celine and Jill Sabule and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the right hand stuff, like stuff that you can't live without, and then down the stomach music, like the music that kind of makes you feel excited and stuff and really pumped up. And then anyway,
So you had different music for different parts of the body.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that's cute.
Yeah, so in my left leg I had Pat Benatar, I've got written there. And then all 90s. I'm all 90s. So I can text it to you if you want. I think you would.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. So
thank you.
You have to text me that ye old photo as well.
I can't believe you had Pat Benatar in your leg.
That song "All Fired Up" is literally one of the best songs of all time.
It is really good.
I just was like, this blows my mind every time, Pat. Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was into that.
Yeah, that was a great one.
And then she came out with the Bangles, I remember.
Because you toured with the Bangles, didn't you?
A couple of times, yeah. And then the next time the Bangles came out, they were opening for Pat Benatar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they cool?
Which was lovely. Yeah. That was really fun. Those tours were really fun. Yeah. But something really bad happened. Something really, really bad happened.
What happened?
I was invited onto stage to sing a song I didn't know.
Oh, no.
Yes, and it's fine when, you can kind of bluff your way through,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're over there on the side and you've got your microphone. There's the Bangles. There's Vicky Peterson and Susanna Hoff's there and Debbie Peterson's on the drums. It's all, all good. And then Hoodoo Gurus were on stage.
Oh, good.
It was a big finale show, because they toured a lot with them back in the day. And I can't even tell you what the song was now. I don't know. because it's one of those things that I tried to wipe from my mind, but it haunts me every now and then. I wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night. So at one point, Vicky looked at me, and I just made some horrible noise. I don't know. It was not even in tune with the song, and it was just like this wailing, and it was dreadful. And I thought, oh, well, that's all right, because they would have mixed me really low out the front, and no one would have really heard it, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I was sharing my send, right? So what I was hearing in my fold-back wedge was identical to what Debbie on the drums was hearing, because that was her send. I had the same send as her, because she would come down and do, I'm going back to Liverpool to do nothing and walk like an Egyptian. She'd come down the front with the rest of the girls, and that would be her monitor.
Yeah.
So she heard my voice mumbling all through the fucking song, the whole song. Me just making shit up, singing out of tune, just going off like I was singing, whatever this song is, and then this awful note that I'd sung. And she got off stage and she wasn't happy with me. I don't think she really liked me much after that.
Oh my God.
She's really nice though, but I don't blame her. Like, I wouldn't have liked me either.
Wow.
I know, it was awful. I laugh about it now, but at the time I was mortified.
Yeah, a part of my heart is like feeling like really like, oh.
Are you okay? I know.
I'm
it's like your worst nightmare, isn't it?
I know. It's like I can feel like that, how awful that would be. I'm like, oh.
You know, here's my one chance to get up the Bangles and sing. Great. Oh, it's a song I don't know. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get up there anyway. Oh, God.
Oh, no. That's awful.
It wasn't good. But, you know, that's what happens in rock and roll. Sometimes you're at the top of the mountain, and other times you're just a loser.
Oh, man, hopefully you're at the top.
You've got to laugh, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty terrible story, though. And
yeah, that's really rocked your foundations, that one, hasn't it?
Well, my heart kind of went into my throat.
Into people's fears, doesn't it?
Yeah, it went into my heart.
Because that would be like, that's like awful for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like some of those stories like you think about, like when I was in grade 10 on camp, a horse bit me on the boob.
Oh,
in front of everyone.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so you had the public humiliation coupled
yes
with the pain.
Yes. And
the horse bite hurts, really, doesn't it? It's shocking.
Yeah, and the worst part too is I was like good friends with this guy, and then I had come out of the shower and like the whole class was standing there and they're like, ask her out, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he asked me out and I was like, oh fuck. You know, because you can't say no in front of everyone.
Hang on, are we still on the boob story?
Yeah, this is the boob story. This is the background to the boob story. So this is what happened. And then, because then we were going out, we had to do the horses together, because that's, you know, and he was doing up the saddle thing, and I was like, ugh, this is a ridiculous situation I've gotten myself into. And then the horse turned around and bit me, and I'm like...
Oh, see, he was too hard on the girth, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that what it's called? Is that the girth underneath there? You strap that up there?
I feel like that, yeah, that sounds like it.
And then the horse went, ouch, and bit your boob.
Yeah, turned around and went, you know what, lady? Fuck you.
What sort of a boyfriend's he?
Wow, we hadn't even gotten anywhere near boobs at that stage. So he didn't know what to do, and I was pissed. I was like, but...
Yeah, that would have really hurt. Did it leave a mark?
Yeah, for years. I had a scar for years.
Wow, you poor thing.
Yeah, it was fine though. I was like, it was a good story to tell people.
I'm glad you shared that story after mine.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, and I sometimes think about that story and I cringe, like, just, you know, you're walking to work or something, you're like, oh God, why?
It's the smell of horse manure. Oh, that's right. That happens, see how these memories can just pop up.
Yeah, they just make you want to collapse in the street.
Yeah, collage of our lives, Sally.
Yes.
That make us who we are.
Yes, absolutely. It's horrendous sometimes. Are you smoking?
No.
Okay.
Why, are you?
No, I don't smoke. I vape. So I was going to be like, if you're smoking, I
you're
want to
a vaping person. Apparently, you can pimp your vape now.
Really?
Yeah, like people pimp them up and make them like massive plumes of smoke. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
I saw a guy walking up the street the other day. It looked like he was in a cloud.
Mine.
It was like a scene from Monkey Magic, you know? I used to love that.
That was a great show.
Sandy and Pixie.
Yes, that was a
And
great...
Tripitaka.
Yes. And that kind of thing where he got the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is essentially what I am doing.
Okay.
No, but I'm not doing it. I was just going to say, if you were smoking, then I will vape as well. But if you're not smoking, then I'll just pretend
No.
I didn't say that.
You can vape though.
Oh, no, it's fine. Someone called it a douche flute the other day, and I was like, oh.
The douche flute?
Yeah, and I was like, oh. I was
I like that.
But yeah, no, it's not. You know, like, yeah, so.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You are.
So will I see you up in Brisbane in October?
Yes.
Something about maybe bringing the Tomboy show
Yes.
to some other places.
Yes.
Because we had a good couple of shows down here in Hobart. Some funny instances and stories and things. But I think I'll be coming up there for the inaugural Australian Women in Music Awards, which will be good in October, which is great. So yeah, I'm assuming that the nominees will be announced at some stage, which will be really exciting. To have an award show dedicated to the achievements of women in the music industry, which is a great thing.
Is that who do you think will be nominated?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if I look at artists who have, really exploded globally, I'd probably say Tash Sultana is a young artist who, I remember seeing play when she was 15. And I thought, oh, she's got something, and she's done really well. And Courtney Barnett, Jen Clower, I mean, her latest record's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think, Kate Miller-Heike's done that great music for Muriel, the stage show. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And hopefully one of my all-time favourites, Jenny Morris, will be there because I adore her.
Jenny Morris.
Yeah, she's lovely, and she's very heavily involved in, the music industry and, I think with APRA and things like that. And yeah, she's a great lady. I like her a lot. So yeah, it'd be a nice chance to catch up with, lots of people from through the years, hopefully.
Yeah, I love Kate Miller-Heike. We used to go around when she was performing at bowls clubs. In Brisbane, yeah.
Because she's from Brizzy, right?
Yeah. So we used to follow her around, not like creepily, but just wherever she was performing, we'd go and have some drinks and stuff, and and she's great. Like, yeah,
she's really talented.
God, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And
you have a new album coming out. Is this true?
I do. I've got a single that I'll be hopefully releasing in spring this year, and that'll be the first song from the new album. It's called Closer to the Truth. And the song is, so I'm sort of writing and part recording the album at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully get the single out. I'm doing an interesting music video for it down here with a friend of mine, Stephen Harwin, who does drone mapping. Using drones, and so he's got some really incredible footage and techniques of 3D imagery and stuff like that he uses in his work, and he's a really old friend of mine, so yeah, it's been really nice to reconnect with people back here in Hobart.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is, it's a great town to be. There's some really good local music happening down here. There's a band called Iwa, and yeah, they're and the Vision of Paradise, I think the band are called. And yeah, they're fantastic. Emma, who's up the front, female-fronted 4-piece band. I saw them play at Dark Mofo this year, and they were brilliant. I also saw Laurie Anderson perform, and I couldn't believe that I could literally walk out of my house and go down and see Laurie Anderson and St Vincent, just like literally within walking distance of my house. And I've got to say, St Vincent blew my mind as a live performer. I was so in awe. I mean, she had like 8 guitars that she's designed to be sort of ergonomic for female players, so they're sort of smaller, and she just played amazingly and performed incredibly, and yeah, it was really inspiring. So yeah, it's really cool that all this awesome stuff's happening down here.
You've had Dark Mofo. One of my friends goes down for that every year.
Oh, it's a wonderful festival.
Yeah,
it's really, really great. The whole town just changes. Like thousands of people are out for 3 weeks over winter, just going to, you know, feasting and seeing art, and you know, they've got kid-friendly events and heaps of music, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I have to do it.
Yeah, you must. And I mean, I suppose it's a matter of, you know, just go and join their mailing list so that when the tickets go on sale next year, because a lot of the shows sell out quite quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I've kept you for an hour and a half.
We haven't really kept me. It's been a nice conversation.
Yeah,
so
that's
you.
good.
Thanks
That's good.
for chatting with me again.
No, I'll still keep talking, because I mean, I have like 1,000 things to say, but yeah,
I'm sure that we have to actually meet in person.
Yeah, that would be fun and cool.
It would be good. Yeah. So October is when I'll be up.
Yeah, that's not that long away.
No, it's not that long at all.
You should definitely do a tour.
Okay.
Or at least come to a backyard of somebody I know and do a tour there.
Okay, like a house show.
Yeah.
House concert. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
Do you reckon we could organise a house concert?
I think so.
Okay.
I definitely believe that would be...
well, that would be really enjoyable for me.
That would be terrific, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do that.
All right. Okay, well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to send...
correspondence.
Yeah, we do correspond, don't we?
We do correspond, yeah.
Yes, I enjoy corresponding. I think
you're a corresponder.
Oh yes, I write Monique Brumby letters. No,
I haven't received a letter.
No, I don't know. I don't know where you live, and I probably wouldn't send it. I would just text you using emojis.
It's a bit easier.
It is. It's faster.
Yeah, and especially when you get your sort of all your emojis lined up in your texts.
Yes.
They sort of say all you really need to say.
That's right. I like trying to fit it all into a couple of emojis.
You're a good user of emoji in your correspondence.
Well, that's because I do social media and I do it all day long.
Well, look, it shows, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Just my job, just coming out.
Yeah, it's just your job, you know. It's just what you do. It's how you roll.
That's how I roll, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be so cool, but it just happens, so...
You and your douche flute.
Douche flute, yeah. So I'm like, you're a douche.
I'd call it a punce pipe before I call it a douche flute.
It's like the best thing that for me.
That's good, because were you a smoker before that?
Yeah. I did, and I really liked it. I don't think it was obviously an addiction. But then I got my douche flute or my punce pipe, and and I haven't smoked, and I would never smoke again. So it's great, and I'm happy to be.
Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoy vaping. Glad you could use this as a forum to express your enjoyment.
I can't believe I just sat and said to you, like, yeah, so it's great. Vaping is great. No.
Well, you are. So for anyone out there, you know, who's thinking about giving up cigarettes, maybe you should just not do either. Yay.
Yeah, wow, burn.
Do you have, like, flavours?
Yeah, I really like fruity flavours.
Do you like fruity teas?
Yes, I like fruity everything. Yeah.
See, there's a bit of polarisation that goes on with the fruity tea. Some people like them, some people don't.
Yeah.
When I have people come around to the studio, do you like a fruity tea? Yep, like fruity tea. Well, I've got fruity tea. Do you not? Oh, no, I can't do fruity tea. And then, you know, do you know that rooibos gives you constipation? Now, this is something that you need to know if you're out there listening and you think, yep, I'll just have rooibos. Right?
There's 100 million
Healthy
people
choice.
listening, so someone's going to have it. Have an issue.
Well, yeah, there's going to be quite a few thousand out there rooibos drinkers.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, it may not have the same effect on you, but my mum first drew my attention to this. And then I tried this and realised, yes, in fact, it does.
Wow.
Mm.
And coupled with that minge thing you had, like, you're pretty much up shit creek, like.
Oh, that minge thing.
Yeah, that's sounded
that's
painful.
See, that
yeah.
coupled with rooibos, you know where you got to get treatment for all of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've got time to talk. So.
No, oh dear.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna let you go so you can like.
Great chatting to you.
It's great chatting with you.
Yay.
I feel like we're kind of friends now.
Yeah, we've sort of entered the zone, haven't we?
I feel like we have entered the zone, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna send you my my music body thing. Please take note that I did it late at night. So
I will really enjoy seeing Pat Benatar in your left leg.
Brilliant.
I don't think I've ever seen Pat squeezed into her leg before, but
it might be a right leg. I think. I'm
okay.
bad with my left and right. The other left. Yeah, so I'll send it to you right now. And
okay, thank you.
And if you want to send me that ye old time pic, I would not hate that.
Right. Yes, I might have to think about that. I'll try and find a photo. I might send you the photo of me with a permanent balance jumper.
Oh, that's
pretty tragic.
I feel like I would love that. I'll try and find a terrible one.
Well, once I receive yours, you might get something back unexpected.
All right. Well, I will hold my breath waiting.
Okay, good.
All right.
Take care.
See you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Sally.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, you still with us?
Oh,
That was a long one.
life with you or the interview?
The interview was great though.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, what was your favourite bit?
Okay, don't listen to the... No. I don't listen to the interviews.
Yeah, because you kind of looked like you didn't then, and I'm like, yeah, I know you listened to it. What was your favourite bit? When she sang Anchor?
Yeah, totally. If that was me, I'd be forcing her to sing Anchor as well.
Because even when I thought in my head, like, oh, maybe we could just sing that whole album together. I'm like, that would be torturous for her, listening to me
especially because she'd have a gun to her head.
giving a rendition of her album to her. She'd just be like, beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
Well, you are going to have a house party.
Holy shit balls. What if it's like Celine and I weep? That's okay. I'll just keep it together.
No, you can't keep it together.
I'm pretty good at keeping it together.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to talk about carols?
No, because I can see it on your chest.
Yeah.
She's got a Carol shirt on.
The great thing about wearing a Carol shirt.
Although I just think, why would you think a woman named Carol would wear a shirt with Carol on it?
Well, this is the thing. This is one of the great things about wearing this shirt is the chuggers in the mall. Oh, hey, Carol. And then also, oh, it's a good way not to forget your name. I'm like, get away from me. But also, at least people aren't calling me Mustang. Because everyone says to me, oh, do people call you Mustang? And I'm like, not twice.
Great line. Haven't heard that before.
Thanks, Sarah. Anyway, see you next week.
See you next week.